I've always said NISCORT is home away from home. And it's always a pleasure coming back to NISCORT. I've been associated with this institution for over a decade now. And such a pleasure. I addressed almost one seminar a day on an average. But this is the first seminar I am addressing on AI and religion. In fact, there are only two institutions which generally have seminars related to religion. One is NISCORT and another is Baha'is. I keep going to both the places. And they, of course, their focus is on interfaith. But this is a very important topic because almost 90%, more than 90% of our population is deeply religious. And it is but natural that today we see technology dominating every aspect of our lives. One could have never imagined a decade back that even street vendors would be taking UPI payment. The way digital India is transforming the rural landscape is something even the West is trying to admire. I found many videos in which Westerners are saying that they are amazed by the penetration of digitalization in this country, given the fact that we have a large, sizable segment of population which is poor and which is also less educated. But in spite of that, technology has made deep inroads. And that speaks about the resilience of our people and, of course, the initiatives of the governments. AI and religion. I think that in popular parlance in India, I think that only recently when the Mahakumbh, which is the largest congregation of humanity, took place, that the Prime Minister himself referred to the Kumbh as digital Mahakumbh. In fact, AI chatbots were used to guide the pilgrims to their destinations, to find lost people. When about 65 crore people are supposed to have taken a holy dip, to count the number. In fact, when they say that, how can you say, who is sitting there at the entry? We have multiple entry points, and who is sitting there and counting these numbers? So it is AI which has done this job. So for the first time, everybody started talking, even the common man. I visited the Kumbh for 4 days and I interacted with the faculty who were there, the teachers who were there, and I found that technology, and that is one reason that perhaps you had a lot more visitors than was expected. It was unprecedented. So that way it has come into play. I was in Madhya Pradesh for the last 4 years, and one of the popular shrines there is the Mahakal at Ujjain. And I had the opportunity to visit it a few times during my stay. And there I found that they were using virtual reality. For pilgrims outside of the shrine, there are booths which are there. And you can actually use those binocular type cameras. And you can actually make a virtual journey right up to the sanctum sanctorum. You actually feel that you are there, right where, it is so difficult to reach the sanctum sanctorum. But the pilgrims are getting a feel of that. That is using technology. For a very nominal payment, you can see that. Now, this is how technology is being used. But in the West, for pretty some time, this has been used. One concern certainly in countries like United States has been the decline in the number of people who are declaring their affiliation to church, mosque, synagogues, and which is seen as a decline in faith. And to address that, some innovative steps using AI technology has been used. Now there are two sides to that. One example is at the St. Peter's Church, which has been widely discussed and debated at Lucerne in Switzerland, where they, using the avatar technology, they had a AI Jesus. And you had actually people going to the church and making confession in the confession box and speaking to AI Jesus. And the AI Jesus responding to their confessions. This has certainly enhanced the number of people who have, as per some of the, the project allows visitors to interact with a digital hologram of Jesus Christ, and they make confessions in they can make confessions in more than 100 languages. Over 10,000 people have utilized this facility. And most of them said that they had a spiritually positive experience. But there were also critics who felt that this is blasphemous. Because how can you have, it could have been a, priest, but why the Son of the God Himself? So on the one hand, the church was responding to the decline in numbers, and it has certainly gone up. Some out of curiosity, and some, as I said, felt a spiritually positive experience. But many felt that, this was not good in taste. And that you never know what kind of response that AI avatar would give, because there was no human control on that. And we have seen experiences, and I can say from my own experience of AI, two small examples I'll give. One day, somebody recently came to my institute to interview me. And he asked me to give me a brief CV, like the one sister read out. So I said that, come on, in this digital age, you don't ask for CV, You should do it on your own. So he immediately put it on the AI Gemini. And the AI Gemini told him a lot of good things about me. But it also said that I'm still the Vice Chancellor of the MC University. So he said that, sir, AI is the latest in technology. It's 4 months since you have demitted office. How can it talk like that? I said, because no newspaper had reported. Almost every newspaper had reported my becoming the VC, but no English newspaper reported my demitting office. So the AI's reference point is what is available on internet. Beyond that, it doesn't have the capacity. So it is human intelligence. So because it did not have the information, it shared a false information with you. Dr. Ritu gave a reference to how scriptures are being, researched by AI. In the West, a lot of pastors have been utilizing the services of AI. In fact, some have gone a step ahead, and for service, they have even been asking AI to provide them with sermons. And it's interesting that I have many examples which I can quote here, but since there is a paucity of time, you have had instances when pastors have reported that these AI chatbots have given references to quotations which is not available in any scriptures. They create on their own. I had this recent example. I was asked to review a manuscript by, one of the organizations, institutions asked me to review a research paper. I take my job very seriously. Even if it is a small viva or a PhD presentation, I go through it, in depth. So I decided, and I looked at some of the literature review. And there were names, citations which I could not recollect. I decided to cross-check. And I found that the books did not exist. The research papers did not exist. And AI was imagining things. You say AI is not creative, it is very creative. I was surprised myself. So imagine the plight of the pastors who are dependent on this. Again, there were ethical issues when these questions were asked. When this issue was widely debated in the West, that a sermon is something very spiritual. It cannot be based on automated machines, the input given by automated machines. The pastor will have to prepare it on his own, based on his own spiritual experience. Because he is engaging with the faithful. He has to do that. He cannot depend on a machine to do that, algorithms to do that for him. Because then that personalized touch is not there. It certainly helps. And then, as one pastor put it very aptly, he said that very fun of going through the scriptures all over, going to the library, opening the scriptures and reading it all over to prepare the sermon is a different experience altogether, rather than putting few rather than prompting the machine to write a sermon. That itself is an experience we actually go through, whenever we read. So these have been the experiences. But I would like to, and it's not confined to either, say, Kumbh or the church. In fact, at the World Economic Forum in Davos, this issue was extensively discussed. The role of religion was discussed. And there's a message, very, very strong message, which I think we should always keep in mind, and that's a message from Pope Francis. He says that artificial intelligence is a tool created by human intelligence, and it requires human guidance to promote ethical and responsible use. This was Pope's message. At Davos, Buddhist monks even organized an immersive virtual meditation. And they did it by blending cutting-edge technology with ancient spiritual practices, and offered an opportunity for the attendees to experience that spiritual. Uh, there's a very famous quote at Davos, which was given by Cardinal Tuxon. He said that we must ensure that our progress is guided by the moral compass of our shared humanity. Now, these are issues which are actually of great concern. Back home in India, we have been dealing with misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, fake narratives, fake content. I do not use the term fake news because I believe it's an oxymoron. If it is fake, it cannot be news, and if it is news, it cannot be fake, because news is a processed product. We have the 5 W's and 1 H. We have checks, cross-checks, verification, cross-verification. That's how we process news. So, it can be a fake information, a fake input, but it cannot be fake news. Misinformation is there where information is passed on without any evil intent. So it could be a message which I have received, and out of goodwill, I pass it on. But it has very destructive, very destructive potential. Suppose there is a rumor, and I share it with my neighbors, because my intention is good, I want to protect them. But it's a rumor, I have not verified it. Then there is disinformation, which is a deliberate, conscious, planned attempt to misguide, to mislead, to cause hatred. And that you find is increasing by the day. And now anti-social and anti-national elements have got into it. All kinds of videos, manipulated videos, distorted audios, morphed photographs are being disseminated ad nauseum. And it is wreaking havoc, particularly in the rural areas. Today is International Women's Day. Greetings to all women and men. We are here because of women. But a lot of lynching, witch hunting is taking place in states like Jharkhand, using new media technology. Women are being projected as witches with the whole objective of taking away illegally occupying their property. Your mob lynching incidents. You had morphed photographs because of which hundreds of students from Northeast had to migrate from Bangalore. You have morphed photographs and videos of incidents in Myanmar which are being shown as if they are from Manipur. Incidents in Nepal which are being shown as from Chhattisgarh. Incidents in West Asia which are being shown as if from Kashmir, with the whole objective of provoking the local population. During the protests against the land laws, agrarian laws, few years back, the intelligence agencies found that a lot of proxy handles from across the border using Indian names were disseminating a lot of false information. Some were caught, some were able to create a lot of, hatred in the society. A lot of pornography, cyberbullying, cybercrimes, financial frauds are taking place using artificial intelligence. And the need of the hour is media literacy. There's a need for a national media literacy mission involving right from the school curriculum. We should have media literacy, of course, in a graded approach. We used to teach our students about good touch and bad touch. We need to teach our students about good media and bad media. Friends, I can go on, and but I can only say that AI is here for real, and there will be use and misuse. In fact, somebody from the Silicon Valley, Anthony Lewandowski, went a step ahead and tried to create a new religion called the Way of the Future, with a Godhead based on artificial intelligence. So you can expect more such things in the coming days. That will always be there. But as I said that, there are potential dangers. We should all be aware of the potential dangers. AI is certainly a great tool. It is like fire. Fire can cook your food, and fire can burn down your house. You cannot deny the power of... We had problems when television first came to India. Cinema came to India. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, had popularly said that it represents evil. He had walked out of the first and last screening that he attended. He looked at cinema as something that will have negative impact on the society. But today, the potential of cinema has been harnessed. Of course, there have been a bad influence of cinema also. Television, when it came, everybody looked at it as evil. But subsequently, I think the same television is now being utilized from education to faith to every issue. Same thing happened with mobile phones. But the issue is that we cannot deny artificial intelligence. Its time has come. It has come. Let's accept it. But let us be aware. Awareness is the key. How to strike a balance that we don't get carried away. We have had, as I said, instances where popular instances the younger students would here be knowing, from morphing the picture of Rashmika Mandana to deep fakes showing the Prime Minister dancing to Garba tunes. But the most dangerous in the last election was an AI tool which showed the Home Minister himself saying something which was the most controversial, which could have led to a lot of violence in the society. Fortunately, it was immediately taken down. So there is need for regulation, there is need for, a lot of awareness. And I'm sure that deliberations like this will, ensure that there is more awareness. There is a lot of potential, as I said, breaking down big data to making, a lot many tasks easier for us. AI is a very powerful tool. Even I use AI. Everybody should use AI. But we should be very clear when it comes to moral and ethical issues. We should be wary of its usage on aspects which can, offend our sensibilities, because at the end of the day, it's a creation of human intelligence. And I'm sure that we will be able to, like many other technologies, this too, we will be able to tame, God willing.